Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Different day, same time, same person, different show. All right, welcome everybody in to the series premiere of Club Pizzle Happy Hour. I am, of course, your host, Pizzle, Don P, Pod God, wearing on my shirt, wearing on my mic, y'all see it. But thank y'all. And it's so good to be back. I know I've been away for a while. It's been a long time, right? So I'm back. Thank y'all for y'all patience. Thank everybody who hit me at that time. Thank you to everybody who was just seeing like, yo, are you coming back? Where you at, dog? What are you doing? Are you seeing what we're seeing? Anyway, again, man, I want to thank you guys in advance for y'all support of this show. I want to continue to thank y'all for y'all support for this platform. Now, I know what you guys are wondering. What exactly is Club Pizzle Happy Hour? Well, I decided as I was like right before I took my break, I decided like, hey, I want to expand this thing. Football season is in, and this is a football specific thing only for the time being. I figured, hey, I could do more football analysis. And also, due to my sabbatical from the Cleveland Browns as a fan, but not as a someone who's going to watch and cover them, because it wouldn't make sense for me to not. It wouldn't make sense for me to rebrand that, which I'll get to soon. Give me a second. This is my opportunity to do more, to talk more college football and NFL football, and also I'm gonna throw a little bit of pro wrestling in there. WWE to be exact. I'll be talking about that. Pizzle's Picks is the Wednesday show. Y'all already know. Is the pick show. I'm going to pick college games. I'm going to pick NFL games. And I'm also going to be picking winners and losers in WWE premium live events. And I want to keep Club Pizzle strictly Cleveland, strictly local, Browns, Cavaliers, that type of stuff. I might also be doing something else with that. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to see how this goes. But for the next 7 months, your Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays will be occupied by me. So let's just get to it, man. I know it's been a long time, and I will update y'all on my health and what else I've been doing in my time off. I'll update y'all about that on Thursday. Okay. So let's just get to this thing, man. Let's get this thing started. Like everything else, when like Club Pizzle, I'm going to try to get this into y'all in 45 minutes or less. I can't see what my clock say. Oh, my clock is up here. Duh, looking at the wrong spot. But I'm going to try to get this done in 45 minutes or less. I'm going to try. I'm going to try, okay? So let's start off with college football. We are entering another college football season. Week 0 took place this past weekend. I hate week 0. I don't know about anybody else. I hate that. I hate the fact that they call it week 0. Just call it preseason. There's no need for them to call it week 0 now because everybody plays 12 games in the regular season. I can remember a time in college football where teams played 11 games. Only a handful of teams played 12. And if you were in a conference championship game, you played 13. A SEC team or a Big 12 team. That's what it was. But the landscape of college football has changed, and it has changed a lot. And I am glad to say that I have been potting since they started doing this. The SEC expanding, the ACC expanding, the Big 10 expanding, and the Big 12 expanding. We went from 5 power conferences to 4 power conferences, and it's probably going to stay there. Because if they do resurrect the Pac-12, I still don't believe that there'll be a power conference. They'll end up being a group of 5 or group of 6. But we'll see how they do that. We'll see what happens when the contracts, the TV contracts and all of that go out. But until then, ESPN, Fox, CBS, everyone has their networks. I get to watch them all. We'll get to watch them all. I want to take a look first at our Heisman Trophy candidates, or at the Heisman Trophy candidates. And I got a nice little list here. And this is our research. Let me tell you, this is our research that I've done, or that I've been doing for the last 3 weeks, up until last night. I was making decisions on certain things. And I'll get there when I get there. But I want to start off with these Heisman candidates. I'm going to start with Arch Manning, quarterback, Texas Longhorns, number one team in the country. He is the quarterback. He has the pedigree. He is a Manning. And they're one of the top teams. And this is a quarterback-driven award. There are some exceptions. Travis Hunter was the exception last year. But this has really been a quarterback's award. I'm going to go to Garrett Nussmeier at LSU. And I know a lot of people feel like, yeah, whatever. But I think that guy is going to be there towards the end. He's going to compete for it. Do I think he's going to win it? I'm not sure, but he's definitely going to be one of those guys in the conversation. Oh, and I will run this list the entire season after like week 4. I'll start coming up with my list. I hate preseason rankings, which is why I'm not going to run down any preseason rankings. I did a preseason ranking, but I'm not even going to run them down because I don't care enough about preseason rankings. I think preseason rankings should be gone from college football, and everybody should play unranked the first 4 weeks or the first 3 weeks or whatever before conference play opens. And after that first conference week, but a lot of teams open with their first games with their conference. But I think at least 4 weeks. It should be at least 4 weeks before they start these polls. And then the college football playoff is after like week 7 or 8 or something like that, which I'm totally cool with. But Garrett Nussmeier is going to be – Garrett Nussmeier. I'm sorry, Brad. Why am I calling? I'm thinking about Brad Nessler. Garrett Nussmeier from LSU. Cade Klubnik from Clemson is – I've seen his name by some of the best in college football, some of the best analysts in college football. I've seen Cade Klubnik, who might be someone who wins this award. Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver from Ohio State. It'll take a lot. It'll take for him to have just an undeniable season. Ohio State will have to be undefeated. They will have to beat the brakes off of everybody. It starts week 1 with Texas in the horseshoe. If he averages 7 or 8 catches, 20, 130, 140 plus yards per game, 1 or 2 tutties a game, you have no choice but to say, hey, I think this guy should win Heisman. He would get a vote. He should get votes. Drew Allar from Penn State. I got to see it. That's all I'm going to say about him. Ryan Williams, wide receiver from Alabama, the kid, another one. It would have to be the same way. Alabama would have to be undefeated. They would have to win the SEC. They would have to do it in great fashion. And he would have to average about 7 or 8 catches, 120, 130, 140 plus yards, and 1 to 2 tutties per game. And make an impact for him to get it. Couple of dark horses. I'm going to throw DJ Lagway's name in there from Florida. He's a Florida quarterback. Florida may make some noise this year. If this team gets 10, 11 wins, makes it to the college football playoff, DJ Lagway's name should be in the conversation. Julian Sayin from Ohio State, the quarterback. And this is one of those situations where him and Jeremiah Smith may cancel each other out. But if he leads this team undefeated or number one in undefeated, Big Ten championship, number 1 seed in the college football playoff, and he has a hell of a year, I can see a scenario where Julian Sayin is the Heisman Trophy winner. Got to see it, though. Sam Leavitt from Arizona State. Arizona State is a very interesting team this year. Got to see how he does without Cam Scatterboo. Is he for real? We'll see. And finally, Carson Beck. Of course, y'all knew I was going to throw a Miami Hurricane name on that list. I do not care how y'all feel about it. I'm going to throw Carson Beck's name on there. There was a time where Carson Beck was a Heisman Trophy candidate. He was leading the number 1 team in the country in the Georgia Bulldogs. And he got hurt. 2 years ago, he was projected. They were saying, hey, this guy could be the number 1 pick in the draft. And all Miami is a quarterback away from me. But I'm not going to go homer I'm not going to go really, really homer on y'all. But I'm throwing Carson Beck's name on that Heisman list. If they are undefeated, he dominates ACC championship at minimum, getting there at minimum, and getting to the college football playoffs, 11-1, 11-2 record. You got to give it to him. Just throwing it out there, a lot of scenarios. Those are the Heisman candidates. Let me run those by y'all again, and I got my trusty cards with me. Arch Manning, Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik, Jeremiah Smith, Drew Allar, Ryan Williams, DJ Lagway, Julian Cyan, Sam Leavitt, and Carson Beck. Now, if y'all have any other Heisman candidates, throw them down in the comments for me, please, and thank you. Now, let's get to, I'm only doing conference championship games, and I'm running through the Power Four and the Group of Five conferences. The conferences that have championship games. Okay, I'm going to start with the Atlantic Coast Conference, the ACC. The matchup, this is what I'm going to do. I'm doing matchups and winners. That's it, matchups and winners. For the ACC, I have Clemson going up against Miami. As far as I'm concerned, these are the two best teams in the ACC. Is SMU intriguing? Are they a flash in the pan? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But I think Clemson and Miami are the two best teams. SMU is an interesting team. Duke is very interesting. Duke may surprise people. Manny Diaz has some recruits. He has some guys in there. North Carolina, I'm going to be paying a whole lot of attention to North Carolina because Bill Belichick is there. I like Syracuse. I love their coach. And the fact that he paid his son's tuition so he can open up scholarships for another player. I mean, apparently, I guess his son doesn't go there for free. But making him a walk-on so he can give the scholarship to somebody else, pretty doggone cool. I like that. Who else in the ACC? Florida State, I don't know. I do not know. Florida State looked bad last year from the jump, starting with the Georgia Tech game in Ireland. They look like crap. Louisville doesn't have enough defense. And everybody else, it's Miami or Clemson. Miami and Clemson. Those are the Stanford, don't know. Cal, nah. No. Just no. Clemson, Miami, in Charlotte for the ACC championship game. And my winner is, surprise, surprise, I'm going with Clemson. They're still the class of the ACC. Dabo Swinney is still Dabo Swinney. He's always going to field a knockdown, drag out, kick your ass defense, defensive front. He has about 10 to 12 guys in the NFL right now, including Christian Wilkins. A lot of guys he put in the league. Defense is always going to be there. Cade Klubnik, back on offense at quarterback. Cade Klubnik might win the damn Heisman, y'all. I'm telling y'all, Cade Klubnik might win the Heisman. Clemson is going to be fantastic this year. And as bad as I wanted to pick my Miami Hurricanes to win the ACC and possibly get a top 4 seed with a 12-1 record, 11-2 record, or whatever the case may be, I still got Clemson as the class of the ACC. Dabo took a few years to try to find it, to try to get it together after Trevor Lawrence. DJ Uiagalelei didn't work. Cade Klubnik came in. He's gone from, he look all right, to, damn, this dude good, to, he might win the Heisman. So I'm taking Clemson over my Miami Hurricanes in the ACC championship game. Big Ten championship, Ohio State, Penn State, was there ever a doubt? They are going to play each other once in the regular season, and they are going to see each other again in the Big Ten championship game. Sorry, Buckeyes. I said I had to see it. But I'm picking Penn State to win the Big Ten championship. Can't apologize for that. They have the talent. They have the quarterback, another guy who has a chance to win the Heisman, could be the first quarterback taken in the 2026 NFL draft. I'm expecting this to be a great game, but I'm also expecting Ohio State to beat Penn State in the regular season in the shoe. They run it back, and I think Penn State gets them on a neutral site. That's just the way I see it. Me and a bunch of others. Big 12 championship. I got Iowa State versus Utah. That was it. Yep, I am bugging. Iowa State versus Utah. Kyle Whittingham and the boys are back. Let me change this. Kyle Whittingham and the boys are back. I'm taking Utah to win the Big 12. Iowa State does have a great chance. Oh, wait, I do got them in there already. See, this is what happened. I took that out. This is what happens. I got Utah to win the Big 12. Here we go. Iowa State has a chance. Kansas State. A lot of people are loving Texas Tech. I know y'all are asking, where's Colorado? I don't see it yet. I have to see it. This is another one that I have to see. Prime just named his quarterback. I have to see what the line looks like. I have to see what the defense looks like. I have to see what this team looks like post Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter and Jimmy Horn Jr. and Ajonte Wester. I got to see what it looks like. But I'm taking Utah. Utah has been down bad. They've been hit with injuries. But this team is another one of those knockdown, drag-out, kick-your-ass teams. And Kyle Whittingham, it's been enough. All right, he's saying enough is enough. It's time to get it back. SEC championship game. Texas versus Georgia. Was there ever a doubt? The two best teams in the SEC. Alabama has a shot. I got to see it. LSU, we have to see it. I don't know what Ole Miss is going to look like. Texas A&M, y'all on the clock. Florida, again, DJ Lagway, I need to see it. Oklahoma, need to see it. Everybody, we just need to see it. As far as I'm concerned, Texas and Georgia are the class of the SEC, with Alabama not too far behind them. Now, again, these are just the previews, okay? Everything could change in the middle of the season. And I am going to, mid-season, you're damn right, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to do it mid-season, and I'm going to do this all over again. But I got Texas winning the SEC, of course. Conference USA, Liberty versus Louisiana Tech. Liberty is a very interesting team this year. More on that. They are going to win Conference USA. They are going to be undefeated, and they do have a shot at the college football playoff. The AAC, Memphis versus Tulane. I'm going to pick Tulane here. Tulane is another one of those group of that has an opportunity to make it to the college football playoff. Just has to see what their record is like. If they're undefeated, they have a nice chance at getting it. The Mountain West, Boise versus UNLV. I'm picking Boise. No Ashton Genty, but the QB is still there. Boise is still, as far as that conference is concerned, Boise is the class of that conference and always will be until a UNLV. Dan Mullen out there. It's going to be fun. It was fun to watch them Saturday. It was really fun. It was a blast to watch them. But I'm picking Boise to win that. The MAC, Toledo versus Ohio, of course. I'm going with the Bobcats. Shout out Rick Moore. Shout out Paul Teeple, my Ohio Bobcat alumni. And finally in the Sun Belt, Louisiana versus James Madison. I'm picking James Madison. I root for James Madison. I don't call myself a fan of James Madison, but I root for James Madison. I like James Madison. Really, really like him. Oh, by the way, this is not going to get done in 45 minutes. Got a lot to say. So, going through these again. The ACC, Clemson and Miami, I'm going with Clemson. Ohio State versus Penn State, I'm picking Penn State. Big 12, Iowa State versus Utah, I'm going with Utah. The SEC, Texas versus Georgia, I'm going with Texas. Conference USA, Liberty versus Louisiana Tech, I'm going with Liberty. The AAC, the American Athletic Conference, Memphis versus Tulane, I'm going with Tulane. The Mountain West, Boise State versus UNLV, going with Boise State. The Mid-American Conference, the MAC Conference, Toledo versus Ohio, I'm going with Ohio. And the Sun Belt, Louisiana versus James Madison, and I'm going with James Madison. Now, let me get to my college football playoff. I'm going to go through the seeds, and then I'm going to go through the matchups. My number one seed going into this is going to be Penn State. I think Penn State is going to be 12-1 by the time they get here. Their lone loss is going to come to Ohio State. I do believe that. My number two seed is Clemson. Clemson is going to be 12-1 around this time, or 11-2, somewhere in there. The LSU game at the beginning of the year is tough, which is Saturday. That's going to be one of Pizzle's picks. Third seed, I got Ohio State. Crazy that the SEC champion is a 4 seed, right? I think, and the only reason I'm putting Ohio State at 3, I feel like they are going to go into the Big Ten championship as the number 1 seed and undefeated, and they'll lose, and they shouldn't drop no further than 3. And I've 12-1, and I feel like Clemson is going to be 12-1. And again, this is all going to get done over. Just remember that. It's all going to be done. I'm going to do this in the middle of the season, mid-season, probably week 6, week 7, week 8, somewhere in there. The 4th seed, Texas, SEC champion, 2-loss champion, Texas. That's wild, right? My 5 seed is Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a very intriguing team. They may only have 1 loss, but maybe 2. We'll see. My 6th seed is Alabama. Yes, I have Alabama making the college football playoff this year. I think the talent is there, and they have a chance. And they're a dark horse to get to the SEC championship game. They beat Georgia. They're as good as in there. Number 7, I got Oregon. Oregon is a team, again, man, like the margin between these teams. And again, let me reiterate, or let me just tell y'all, the seeding for this year's college football playoff is straight seeding. I believe the rankings will dictate. There will be no top 4 conference champions getting the top 4 seeds, which is why there are 2 Big Ten teams in the top 4. Oregon has a shot to get there. The Oregon-Penn State game is huge. That's a big game. That could determine This playoff seeding, Big Ten championship implications. It's intriguing. Number 8, I got Georgia. At number 9, I got Utah. 10 wins, 11 wins. The Big 12, again, I think Kyle Whittingham is ready to be back and ready to do his thing. Number 10, my Miami Hurricanes. The Canes are making the playoff. Looking at the schedule, Notre Dame scares me. That's it. Notre Dame game is this weekend. That's the game that scares me. But could Miami go into the ACC championship game at 12-0, 11-1? You're damn right they could. My 11th seed is LSU. I know, y'all. I know. It sounds crazy. But Garrett Nussmeier, Brian Kelly, there's some talent down there. And I think they do enough, and I think they get enough big wins to navigate through their schedule to get the 11th seed. The 12th is a group of 5 team. The 12th seed is not Boise State. My number 12, the Liberty Friends. Yep, you heard it right. I think Liberty is going to go through their season undefeated. I think they're going to come into this thing at 13. They may be the only undefeated team left at this point. Okay? So, again, running through these seeds. Penn State 1, Clemson 2, Ohio State 3, Texas 4, Notre Dame 5, Alabama 6, Oregon 7, Georgia 8, Utah 9, Miami 10, LSU 11, Liberty 12. So let's run through this college football playoff. I'm going to start with the 5-12 game, and that is going to be Liberty taking a trip up to Notre Dame Stadium to take on the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. I think they're going to get their ass beat. I think this is where their run stops. It's over with. Great run. Congratulations. 13-0, going to the playoff, play Notre Dame, get beat down. The next one I got, the 6-11 matchup, is a rematch in the regular season, Alabama versus LSU. It's going to be another knockdown drag-out. This is one of those games that I love to watch. It's going to be a game that is probably going to be on the Pizzle's Picks list this year. It is every year. This is a game that I would love to attend. Shout out to my family in Tuscaloosa. Y'all know what it is. I'm picking Bama to win this game. Miami has to travel out to take on the Oregon Ducks in Eugene. Upset alert. Miami Hurricanes go out there and get it done. I think Mario Cristobal goes up against Dan Lanning his old school, his old team. They're a lot different, but they are still like he put that there. Mario Cristobal, Carson Beck go out to Eugene, loud-ass Autzen Stadium, and gets it done. Miami over Oregon. Book it, bucko. In the 8-9 game, Utah versus Georgia. It's going to be a physical knockdown, drag-out game, but I think ultimately Georgia will overtake them. So that brings me to the second round, which is the 4-5 matchup. Notre Dame and Texas. More than likely, Sugar Bowl, Cotton Bowl, Sugar Bowl. I'm just throwing it out there. Sugar Bowl. Could be the Sugar Bowl. I'm going with Texas to end Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame season right here. Miami versus Clemson. Run it back. Clemson wins again. I think by this time, Kate Klubnik wins the Heisman, wins the ACC championship game. They're on fire. Bye week on fire. Miami, big win, hard-fought win out in Eugene, but get knocked off by Clemson at the end. Alabama versus Ohio State. Hey, y'all, I didn't mean for this to come out like this. Seriously, when I was making these picks, when I was doing this, I didn't know this was going to shake out this way. I knew when Alabama made the playoff, Ohio State made the playoff, even with my Hurricane, it would have been fun if it had shook out my Hurricanes against Ohio State. Boy, all of my friends that are Ohio State fans probably wouldn't talk to me that week, especially if Miami would get a dub. But here, in this case, I'm taking Ohio State. I think Ohio State is the better team. Ohio State is one of those. And I think Julius Cyan going against his former team, I think they get that win. I believe this game will probably be in the Cotton Bowl or whatever. But Ohio State over Alabama and Rose Bowl, Penn State versus Georgia. Give me Penn State in that game. So the Final Four is chalk, pretty much. Last year, we saw the teams with the byes. All the teams with byes lost. This year, it's different. This year, I see different. It's chalk. So the semifinal matchups, Penn State versus Texas. This is where Penn State's season ends. It's over here. Arch Manning, Steve Sarkisian, James Franklin, you broke through. You won the big game. You probably beat Oregon. You beat Ohio State once. Big Ten champion. You broke through. You won a playoff game again, but your road stops here in the semifinals for the second straight year against the Texas Longhorns. And then Clemson versus Ohio State. Now, Clemson has been Ohio State's daddy for a while. Dabo owns Ohio State. But Ryan Day, since Ryan Day's been there, it's been different. One of the last times they played was 2020, and they kicked Clemson's ass. Give me Julian Cyan, Jeremiah Smith, Caleb Downs, and Ohio State. So that brings us to the national championship game. It starts 1-2. Texas and Ohio State at the beginning of the year. Give me Texas versus Ohio State for the national championship. And my national champion this year in the college football playoff is the Texas Longhorns. Sorry, guys. I can't apologize for that. Not saying that Club Pizzle, regular Club Pizzle, OG Club Pizzle is going to cover Ohio State. I'm going to talk a lot of Ohio State football this year, and it'll be on Thursdays, not Tuesdays. I'm going to give y'all my unbiased. It's not going to be the stuff that y'all seen with me and with my Facebook posting, all the Ohio State trolling that I did on Buckeye fans for the last decade and a half. It's not going to be that. I'm actually covering them. Seriously. Let's move on to the NFL. Doing pretty good here. We're starting in the AFC. In the AFC East, I got the Buffalo Bills. Joshua Patrick Allen, reigning MVP. That team, best in that division. My second place team is the New England Patriots. Why do I believe in Mike Vrabel so much? I don't know. I just got a feeling. Drake May, Stephon Diggs. I got a feeling. I just got a feeling about that team, y'all. Third and fourth. Miami's coming in third. The Jets coming in fourth. The Jets are going to be bad. Getting Justin Fields, that don't mean a darn thing. It doesn't. They just don't see it. Just don't see it. Sorry. No, I'm not going to apologize. And Miami's going to be in the middle of the pack. Miami will probably be a 500 team or so, and their coach is probably going to get fired. I hate to say that because I don't like playing with nobody's money. But it just feels funny. The AFC South, it's the Houston Texans. Duh. Best team in that division. The other three teams in that division are not that good. The Indianapolis Colts are bad. Especially Danny Dimes is your starting quarterback. Come on, man. Seriously. No. They'll be in second, and that's only because the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans are complete and utter trash. Both teams. Put them in a dumpster. The AFC North, I have the Baltimore Ravens winning the AFC North. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, they added DeAndre Hopkins there. The defense is great. John Harbaugh is one of the best coaches of the last 25 years. Second place, I got the Cincinnati Bengals. Healthy, Joe Burrow, and then you got Jamar Chase, and then they paid all of the guys that they needed to pay to get them in there to play this season. Now, this is the year for them to do it, because they might lose everybody else. Third place, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then fourth place, I have the Cleveland Browns. And I will be talking more about the Cleveland Browns on Thursday and why I have them finishing in fourth place. It has nothing to do with my sabbatical. I just feel like this team will get there. AFC West. Come on, man. Come on now. Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes. Andrew Reid, Isaiah Pacheco, Travis Kelce. By the way, congratulations, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. Engagement. That is so announced their engagement. Congratulations to Travis Kelce, man. Cleveland's own, Cleveland Heights own Travis Kelce. Love it. Second place, I got the Los Angeles Chargers. Jim Harbaugh. I know my people. I'm based out of Cleveland. And I know how people from this city feel about Jim Harbaugh because most of the people that I know that are from Cleveland root for the team in Columbus, the Ohio State Buckeyes. And they hate Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, whatever. He gets it done. Justin Herbert gets it done. Keenan Allen is back out there. Welcome home, buddy. Third place, I got the Denver Broncos, Sean Payton. In fourth place, I have Las Vegas. That is a division with four damn good coaches. Got Andy Reid in Kansas City. You got Jim Harbaugh in L.A. You got Sean Payton in Denver. And you got Pete Carroll in Vegas. You got three Super Bowl champions and a national champion. And also Pete Carroll has a national championship as well. I think that is fire. That is a crazy division. NFC. NFC East, I got the defending Super Bowl champions Philadelphia Eagles winning the division. I got the Washington Commanders in second place, the Dallas Cowboys in third, and the New York Giants in the basement. Philly, come on. They didn't lose a lot, and they added two. Almost unfair. It's almost unfair. Washington, Jaden Daniels with another year under his belt. They surprised the hell out of me last year. Wasn't expecting them to be that good. Wasn't expecting them to get to the NFC Championship game, but they got there. And they got Terry McLaurin in there, so now they can go in, get money, play ball. NFC South, I got Tampa Bay winning that division, the Baker Mayfield, and the Buccaneers. Listen, I'm just going to throw this out there. Baker Mayfield could win MVP this year. He could have one of those years. I have Atlanta in second, Carolina in third. It's surprising, and New Orleans in the basement. I think New Orleans is trash. And I know Spencer Rattler was just named starting quarterback. I like Spencer Rattler. I'm a Spencer Rattler fan. I'll probably buy a Spencer Rattler jersey at some point. But they're bad. I just see them as being horrible. The NFC North. I went back and forth with this one. I went with the Minnesota Vikings at one point, but I said, nah, let's go back. I got the Detroit Lions winning the division with the Minnesota Vikings coming in second place, Green Bay coming in third, and Chicago coming in fourth. I think between Detroit, Minnesota, and Green Bay, they are going to be separated by a game or two between those teams. I don't think Detroit duplicates the success that they had last year, but I do feel like neither does Minnesota. I feel like those teams, it's going to take 11, 12 wins, and I think those teams, it's going to be I feel like Detroit can win 12. I feel like Minnesota can win 11, and I think Green Bay can win 11 as well. Jordan Love is healthy. Green Bay surprises the hell out of me. They surprised me last year to make the playoffs. I didn't believe in Jordan Love, and I'm never going against that guy ever again. And the Chicago Bears are trash. NFC West was another division that I played around with and that I kind of agonized about. But ultimately, within the last few days, something made me come to my senses about the San Francisco 49ers. Thank you, Christopher Cargyle, for bringing me to my senses. Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Juwan Jennings. Big three. They added, and Trent Williams is still there. I promise you, Trent Williams needs to win an MVP, an NFL Most Valuable Player at some point before he retires. He's one of the best left tackles of all time, if not the best left tackle of all time. They just added Sky Moore at receiver, and they just added Brian Robinson Jr. from Washington. That is a fire move. I have the LA Rams in second, the Seattle Seahawks in third, and Arizona in fourth there. So the seeding for the playoff seedings, I messed with this, but ultimately I have the Kansas City Chiefs at the 1 seed. Pat Mahomes has his weapons. Pat Mahomes has his guys. He got Pacheco. He has Kareem Hunt. Got a nice 1-2 punch as his running backs. Hollywood Brown is back. Rashae Rice will be back. Xavier Worthy is in the building. Travis Kelce is still Travis Kelce. And as well as the other tight ends. Ultimately, I do have them at the 1 seed. Buffalo is the 2 seed. Baltimore is the 3 seed. That could flip. Houston at 4, and that's because they are going to win their division. They're the worst of the 4 division winners. 5 seed, I had the Cincinnati Bengals at the 5 seed making playoffs. 6, I have the Chargers. And my 7 seed is the New England Patriots. I believe in Vrabel. Sorry. In the NFC, I have the Philadelphia Eagles at the 1 seed. Detroit at the 2 seed. San Francisco at the 3. Those could flip. Detroit could be 1. San Francisco could be 2. Philly could be 3. San Fran could be 1. Philly could be 2. Detroit could be 3. Tampa is 4. Or, again, I feel like Baker Mayfield can win MVP. And if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in those top 3 seeds, that means Baker Mayfield had a hell of a season. Give him the MVP. My 5 seed is the Minnesota Vikings. 6, I got Washington. And 7, I have the Green Bay Packers. And I thought about this. I love Sean McVay in the LA Rams and almost put them in at the 7 seed. But I think Green Bay ultimately is going to make it at 11-6 or something. So my AFC playoff goes a little something like this, and we have 47 minutes, but it don't matter. The wild card, the 2-7 game is the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. I got Buffalo winning that game, and I got Buffalo beating the hell out of. The 3-6 game, the Baltimore Ravens and the Los Angeles Chargers. Give me Baltimore, give me Lamar. In the Harbaugh game, in the Harbaugh playoff game, in the 4-5 matchup, the Houston Texans and the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm going with Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. He showed me that when he gets to the playoffs, he can get it done. Next round, the divisional playoff, the Cincinnati Bengals take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes versus Burrow again. Burrowhead no more. Patrick LeVon Mahomes goes to the AFC Championship game for what, the 8th, 9th straight year? Give it to him. And the Baltimore Ravens travel to take on the Buffalo Bills in what will be the final game at Ralph Wilson Stadium or Highmark Stadium or Rich Stadium or whatever the hell they call it in that stadium these days. I'm picking Buffalo. We got Mahomes and we got Josh Allen. Again, showdown AFC Championship game. And this year is going to be the year Josh Allen marches into Buffalo and takes down the Kansas City Chiefs. For the last 7-8 years, I know, this feels different. Josh Allen winning that MVP and Josh Allen walking off of that field last year not winning and not being able to beat this Kansas City Chiefs team in the playoffs at all. I believe he's, 0-3, 0-4? I think this is the year they break through. Buffalo Bills, AFC champions. All right, NFC playoffs. The 2-7 game, the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers, I got Detroit winning this game. The 3-6 matchup is the San Francisco 49ers and the Washington Commanders. Give me San Francisco. And then the 4-5 matchup, Tampa Bay versus Minnesota. I'm taking Minnesota. Why do I believe in J.J. Watt? Why do I think that team is better than what? I know some people who have them going to the Super Bowl. Divisional playoff, NFC. Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Give me Philly. Jalen Hurts and the boys back to the NFC Championship game again. Who would they take on between the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers? Give me the Detroit Lions back in the NFC Championship game for the second time in 3 years. NFC Championship game, Philadelphia Eagles, Detroit Lions. Who's going to win it? It's their year, the Detroit Lions. Yes, Super Bowl 60 will be the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions. It'll be two teams who have never won a Super Bowl. One who went 4 straight years and didn't win, and a team who's never been. So the winner of Super Bowl 60, the Buffalo Bills. It's indeed Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. They will win their very first Super Bowl. They'll do it for Marv Levy. They'll do it for Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed, James Lofton, Bruce Smith, Cornelius Bennett, Darryl Talley. They will do it for everyone in Buffalo. It is their year. I am picking the Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl. Now, before I get out of here, 52 minutes, not bad to do a preview show. Side. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. Pizzle's Picks. It is a pick. That is the pick show. I will be picking week 1 of college football and WWE Premium Live Event Clash in Paris, which is the final PLE on the Peacock Network. I'll make a post about that. I'll do something separate on WWE and what they're doing with their television, or maybe I'll get to it tomorrow just a little bit. And on Thursday, I will break down the Cleveland Browns roster, and I will go through the Ohio State Buckeyes roster and their outlook. And also, I'm going to talk Cleveland Cavaliers schedule because their schedule did come out while I was on break, and I do want to get to discuss that. So make sure you guys tune in. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. for Pizzle's Picks. Thursday, 8 p.m. for Club Pizzle. With that said, we are out of here. See y'all next week or see y'all tomorrow. Deuces.